Good morning, and I'm back on the road. You ever just see something and you just kind of go like this and you're like thinking real hard, like, did I just see what I just saw? The guy just passed me. He's just right up here in the left lane. Silverado, Florida tags. He's kind of creeping by me, like a couple mile an hour faster than me. And I saw him smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, oh, okay, the windows are up. That's kind of weird. Like, and then I look, and there's kids in the back seat smoking a cigarette with the windows up, because it's hot, and smoking with the kids in the car. Now, I know everybody's parents did that, or grandparents did that with their parents back in the day, but there was also not as much research and understanding of the harms of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then would have been Saturday or Sunday. I think it might have been Saturday. We had a little party at the house. Had a couple things we needed to go get from the store. I was like, you know what, I'll run out and get them. Big bump. Big bump. Start fixing that bridge. So I went to the store and I was coming down like out of the plaza, and you turn left, like out of this road, and then you hit a main road. Well, I'm getting ready to pull out and turn right, and this car's coming into the plaza turning left. There is a kid standing on the front seat. I mean, standing there with its hands on the dash, obviously not in a seatbelt, and I'm gonna guess maybe 5-6 years old, just standing there in the front seat. It's like, where are I mean, that might be they were of a different, from a different country, and I don't know if maybe car seatbelts aren't a thing there, or they don't really care, but I mean, this is America. There's laws, and also, even if you're the best driver in the world, nobody else can drive. All it would take for someone to cut you off and you have to slam on the brakes and that kid's head's going through the windshield. It baffles me, the parenting or grandparenting that is, but, I mind my own business. So we're headed south. I actually got 2 trucks on behind me. You can see one back on pulled on. And we have one more piece to pick up. We're about 20 minutes away. I just got off the phone with the guy to let him know I'll be there in 30 minutes. And gonna add another piece to this trailer. It's a repo. You might be thinking, how are you gonna fit that on the trailer with 2 trucks? It's not big. It's a repo, and pretty sure it'll fit. Guess we'll find out. Man, I knew I recognized the name of this place I'm picking up. This guy's got some serious equipment. I've seen this trailer hooked. He's got an all black Kenworth, and I only know that because it's got all, what are they, Mayhem, or no, these are all American racing wheels on this thing. Unbelievable. Oh, we've got that. Told you we were picking up something. We're gonna fit everything on here. So that little mini excavator, little Chinese one. I think the thing weighs about 1,500 pounds. Well, it's been a day. We're about an hour and a half from our delivery of the repo mini excavator. So I'm all sweaty and I'm covered in diesel fuel.
Continue straight for 30 minutes to I.
Because I went to fill up my transfer tank this morning when I was getting fueled, and then they took like 7 gallons. And I was like, that's weird. The truck's been sitting. Like, it should have all and the truck wasn't full itself. So I was like, the truck's been sitting, it should have leaked down by now because it's gravity fed. It's like, that's weird. So I got fuel today, and it's just the transfer tank hasn't been transferring any fuel. So I got like 35 gallons on me. I'm like, man, I'd really like to use that instead of having to stop every, 150, 200 miles, I feel like. So I climbed underneath of there. It's got a check valve in it. So I pulled the check valve out, and there's a screen right where the nipple goes on, where you slide your hose on. And that screen, I guess, is clogged. So I punched it out and just kind of scraped it out with a paper clip I had in here, and now it's flowing good. It's I'm not sure if the check valve is still good, like if it's gonna stop if it starts to overflow. But I only had a quarter of a tank. No, I'd say I had about 3/8 of a tank, maybe. I'm up to about a half a tank now, and that was 20 miles ago or so. So I'm just gonna keep watching the gauge, make sure it doesn't get overfull and start to overflow. If that check valve's bad, I'll just have to get a new one and put in it when I get home. But I don't know how I ever did this without a transfer tank, because with this big load here, I mean, I'm probably getting 8-9 miles a gallon. It feels like as soon as I get settled in and get in a groove driving, like I feel like I'm having to pull over and get fuel. Every fuel stop takes at least 15-20 minutes. So it's good now. The guy's gonna meet me there at 6 o'clock. I'll be there a couple minutes before 6. Thankfully, the place closes at 5, but I'm guessing because, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he is a dealer or deals with these repos a lot, which I think he does, because he asked me if I wanted to grab a couple other ones, but I already had this load of trucks. He's got a gate code where he can get in the gate and put it inside. So they only accept cars till 5. And I would have been really having to boogie down here. So even though I stopped, did that, topped off my AC. AC was starting to get not really warm, but it's over 100 degrees today, so I was having a little trouble keeping up. So I topped the AC off, and then, like I said, messing with that put me there about 5:45. So thankfully that gives me a little time to get down to where these trucks go. I might unload them in the morning early and then get over to Manheim from when the gate opens at 6. Because this truck I'm getting out of Manheim tomorrow might be a little bit of a task. I'm up for it to pay. I quoted the guy really good, really high. Couldn't get anybody else to get it. Couldn't get anybody to commit to get it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to be 40 minutes away. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to see what happens. Worst case scenario, it's got to stay there. He pays me a little bit for my time and my effort. But I'm pretty sure I can get it on the trailer and get it home with us tomorrow. And that goes up to Secaucus, New Jersey. And he's pretty much good for any time delivery. So I'm going to tell him, like, not tomorrow I won't make it there because it's about 13 hours. So I'm thinking like maybe like 4 o'clock or so in the morning on Thursday we're going to be meeting. And I'm going to unload this thing because I want to get home Thursday by like 8-9 o'clock because I made a purchase yesterday and it's going to be ready tomorrow. I bought a toy. Me and my wife have been talking for over a year about getting a side-by-side. We went from getting a like a general Ranger style, utility, but then we just talked about it. We have that Ranger at the farm, and I think her dad's willing to keep it because he got that new Gator. I think he's willing to keep it around just for like farm stuff. So if we got to put hay or whatever, it's got the bed, the dump bed. So we bought a 4-seater, a 2024 Razor 1000 Ultimate yesterday. So it's been a lot of money, and I really would like to get it picked up. It wasn't ready. It had to be PDI'd, and it had to be gone through. Could have probably rushed it, but I purchased an extended warranty with the machine. It's like a 5-year warranty. So I need all this stuff to be done to kind of, you know, so they send the paperwork to the warranty company, and it shows that everything was going through or whatever. So just trying to be smart rather than rush it. So I'd like to get down. I'd like to come home Thursday early morning. Say I get unloaded at 6. They open at 9 or 10. Shoot straight down from there. It's Pete Cycles in Baltimore. And pick up the machine with this trailer, since I'll have an empty trailer. So fingers crossed that happens. I'm really excited. It's gonna be a nice, not only is it a toy, it's a nice thing for the family. We'll be able to go ride. We got places we can go ride. We can take it to the lake. I would have never bought something of that caliber and that price if we didn't have all the land we have on a daily basis. Like if that wasn't available every day, I would have never bought something like this. Probably would have went used, because it would have got used like once a month. But the fact that we can ride it every single day, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. I'm not one to really go out and spend money like that. I've had quite a bit on my plate the last couple of months. Put a fence up at the house. That was expensive. I bought all new appliances. I bought this razor. So I'm what do they say? Happy wife, happy life. We had to buy we didn't have to buy all new appliances. Our oven stopped working one day, and to get a matching set, and we don't have a dishwasher. So we're getting a carpenter to come in, a carpenter and electrician to come in tomorrow, cut a cabinet that we're gonna put the dishwasher in. That we bought a dishwasher, and then I think the next day or a couple days after, the plumber's gonna come in and plumb the rest of it. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot of money out. So I'm just kind of trying to get back into the groove here of working, but dealing with all that stuff at home, like getting stuff delivered. Yeah, I got the rest of the appliances coming on Friday. We got our oven delivered already, so thankfully they had that a little quicker, so we would have an oven. And so by Friday afternoon, evening, Saturday, everything should be done. So hopefully, but you know how it goes. Oh, and our dog had surgery last week, so that was another thing on our plate. So it's just kind of been a little hectic, but just the way life goes, I guess. Well, Mini X off the auction. I'm gonna be honest, I'm about a complete idiot, because I know who this guy is. Follows me a bunch on social media. I realized what else he did. Does like roofing and stuff, and he transports the other part of the time. See, I'm trying to sit. Whoa! I'm not gonna sit there. And I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Sometimes I get to going 100 miles an hour, and I really cannot keep up with anything that's going on in my life. So that's why I write everything down in the truck. Well, good morning from Atlanta and surrounding areas traffic. Morning rush hour, headed over to Mannheim, Atlanta. Not sure what I'm getting myself into, but one way or another,
out. Construction on road ahead.
I'm gonna be leaving with this truck on my trailer, because it pays quite a bit of money I told him quite a high dollar amount to move this thing because I didn't know what I'd be getting myself into. So, and on top of that, if we have to pay for a tow truck or a wrecker or whatever it may be, this thing is leaving on the trailer. But you know how Mannheim is and how lazy they are. We could show up and I could be able to get things started and drive it right on my trailer. I don't know. I don't know. So apparently they towed it, which is a good sign because this thing is supposed to have air brakes. Some of them have air brakes, some of them don't. It was hard to tell. This is not a normal vehicle. So if they were able to tow it, they were going to tow it to a spot where I could load it. So if they were able to tow it, which means it rolls freely, it's not going to fit on a rollback, normal rollback. It makes me feel a little better, a little more confident. But one way or another, I'm leaving with this truck today and taking it up to New Jersey. Oh, I am on a mission. Doesn't look like they even pulled it. I don't know how I'm gonna get back to this oversized lot. I'm guessing there's another gate. I don't know. Really not too excited about this. Some are back along this back row. Well, if I come off frustrated, that's why. But I saw it, or I think I saw one that looks like it, so if I can get to it, or they will let me get to it, is part of the problem. Yeah, I see it. Actually, might be a couple of them. So I guess depending on which one it is. I saw one sitting all by itself. You'll understand what I'm talking about here when we see it. Or if I can get a service truck to maybe. I don't know why it doesn't run. Guess we'll find out. And part of my thinking on this is that they just haven't jumped it with maybe 2 jump boxes and that it would fire up. But I do see more than one, so the one I saw was over there, sitting all by itself. But there's also a couple of them sitting back here. I'm picking up one of those. Yep. I'm picking up one of these black Internationals. So, they've got a red one, they've got a couple black ones. This is the one. Didn't even move it. Didn't do anything. This thing is a little rough. I've got no battery. And it's got air brakes. They said they would move it to where I could load it. Do you think this is moved to where I could load it? I don't think so. Alright, I see that somebody has tried to jump it, because that's off. It's got batteries in it. It's got 2 batteries in it. I saw a guy on a golf cart. Let's see if he's got a big jump pack or if they got a couple big jump packs. And maybe this thing will fire. I don't see anything else written on it. It's a big son of a gun. What are these? 42s or something? It's got a bunch of stuff removed out of it, so it shouldn't be, you know, all that heavy. I mean, it's gonna be heavy, but I don't think crazy. Okay, let me go try to find this. Let me go try to find this guy on this golf cart and see if he's got a jump pack or can get somebody with a jump pack back here. Alright, so I've been here for about an hour now. I got it to crank. They gave me this big old jump box here. Was able to jump the starter. I don't know if I can do it while filming. Still can't get it to start. He's gonna go grab me some starting fluid and see if this thing will fire. I pulled the fuel filter out. It's got fuel in it. Try to get all the air out of the system. So we'll give her a whirl with some starting fluid, and if not, then I don't foresee this thing leaving with me because I'm not going to be able to get it out of here, nor do I think they have anything to tow this. And this thing has air brakes. It's got an air parking brake, and where's the air on the front? I know, I'm pretty sure it's got air brakes. So I don't know. So it's got a valve there, and obviously we have no air. So I don't think they have anything to even move this to where I could winch it. And I've been here almost 2 hours now, total. So I'm gonna wait for this guy with some starting fluid, see if this thing will fire off. And we'll guess we'll go from there. I've got 3 of these things here. I don't know where they came from down here, or what they were used for. I mean, I wouldn't think they were actual military, maybe some type of private security. I don't know. But they're musty, disgusting. Windows are down in them, half opened up. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna wait around for another half hour. He's just scrambling, which I get. It's a crappy situation for everybody. I mean, I've got 7 hours in it between where I was coming down here, where I got to get back to, and then well, that's generous. 7 hours, it's more like 8, but because I'll be here for 3. So they're trying to find, which I told him it wasn't possible. He was like, well, with the wreck cars, they have those wheel loaders. And I was like, yeah, but that thing is too heavy for a wheel loader. It's way too heavy. And, I mean, they could get to it because they could get under it, push it sideways and get under it, but it's too heavy for their wheel loaders. Because, like, you know, Copart, you go to Copart, they won't load a dually. I mean, dualies are, what, 8,000-9,000 pounds? And that thing's got to be 12,000 pounds. It's 10.5 stock. So, I don't know. I told him a number for my time, which kind of sucks because, I mean, in the end, I'm still going to be... I'm not going to be losing money. I'm going to be losing out on revenue is the crappy part, but it's frustrating. And then part of it is, like, if I could get to it, I would get it to move somehow, whether I had to pull out the axles, whether I had to, you know, whatever, to get it to release, to be able to roll. And I'm sure it would probably roll good after that, but I don't know. I don't know how long I want to sit in Atlanta for. I'm talking to this real nice gentleman. He was sitting on my trailer when I came out, and I was like, I was getting ready to hop in a truck. I was like, you're good, you can relax there. He goes, you're not my transporter. I said, wow, what am I supposed to be picking up? He's like, shit, I saw the plates on it. I said, I figured it was my guy that was going to be here. It's like, no. So I started talking to him. He owns a tow company. And I was telling him about the situation. And he's like, I mean, you've got hours of work. And you've got probably heavy-duty rates to get something out here. To get something of the size to move that, you're probably $600 to $1,000. and then he's got to pay me to haul it, and then it doesn't run. It's like, I don't know. I guess he wants it that bad. He's trying. I don't want to say he balked at what I told him to pay me wise, but he kind of was like, well, if I'm gonna have to pay that, like, I'm gonna try whatever I can to get it out before I have to do that. But I'm also not in the business of sitting around. I'm also not in the business of not making any money. Wouldn't be in business if I didn't make any money. So we'll see. I don't know. Not that I'm frustrated. I'm sitting in the truck now. AC's running. It's getting hot out there. I'm having to walk all the way back and forth because it's all the way back in that corner there. So there's no way of getting a trailer right there. They don't have a tow truck or anything to move it here. You'd have to call an outside company. You're talking about a heavy-duty wrecker in Atlanta. I mean, just think of the cost. You know, you could probably get a flatbed, like a big equipment, tandem dual flatbed, to get it out, put it at the back of my trailer. But then the same thing is reversed, is how am I going to get this off the trailer? Because, you know, he's going to be spending that money again to get it off my trailer. He asked what I would do. I said I'd leave it here and cut my losses with it. And they told him it ran. And I told him just because the dash lights up in the pictures, that's what they told him. They told him it ran because if you look at the pictures, the dash is lit up. Like, that doesn't mean it runs. I put power to it. You hit the key and nothing happens. I had to jump the starter to get it to do anything. And I was like, honestly, I feel like I put more effort in than a lot of people would have. You know, a lot of people would have put a jump box on it, hit the key, nothing happened. They would have walked away from it. But if it was a car, you know, if it was a Jeep I was picking up here at the auction, I'd tell a guy, you know, he's SOL, you know, I don't know, maybe give me $100, $50 for coming here, that I'm going to pick up something else, but kind of did this trip just for this. Instead of rambling, I'm gonna, I don't know, and the people here aren't very helpful, as you can expect.
0,
so he's calling me now, so let's see what he says.
5.
Well, mission aborted. He's gonna pay me what I asked. He's just a little bummed because it could have been a good come up. I mean, these things go for, in better condition, they go for $80,000, $100,000. So he thought maybe he had got one cheap enough that he was gonna have a come up on it, but then again, they have 6 O's in them. So it could be a fuel pump, it could be a fickum, it could be, you never know. And then not saying when it gets running that it's gonna be not have a blown head gasket or just something crazy. So you're gonna have to put a lot of money and effort into it, getting it up there and getting it right. The interior's all torn apart. There's wires cut everywhere. It's filled with water because of the windows left down. Seats are all ripped up. It's just, I think, if it was me, he just asked me, if it was you, what would you do? I said I would cut my losses. I'd try to run it back through the auction and see if I can't get somebody else to buy it that's maybe closer. How convenient. These guys were pulling in. Look at this big twin steer. These guys were pulling in as I was pulling out. I asked them if their company happened to bring them in, and they said no. I was just curious if that was going to be a coincidence that their company brought those in, but he said they didn't. Well, nothing like being in the fast lane going up Fancy Gap at 42 miles an hour. Thank you, jackass.